Have you heard the old adage that to get better at anything, you want to work on your weaknesses? I disagree. I think you should focus on your strengths. I'm Dr. John Bartemus, and I'm putting the pieces together to help you live a life at optimal. Why do I think you should ignore your weaknesses, or not ignore your weaknesses, but focus on your strengths versus focusing on your weaknesses? Well, let's think about it. If you're focusing on a weakness, what is that? Another way of saying that is you're focusing on the negative versus focusing on the positive when focusing on your strengths. If you're focusing on the negative, that can be stressful both consciously and subconsciously. So if you're focusing on the weakness or the negative and it's causing stress, that results in cortisol and catecholamine release, which starts stress physiology, which is catabolic and leads to breakdown in the body, and chronic stress leads to chronic breakdown, which can result in chronic disease. So something as small as your intention of what you want to work on, like focusing on a weakness versus a strength, could be contributing to your chronic health challenge. On the flip side, if we're focusing on our strengths and getting better at our strengths, we're focusing on the positives at all times. Now, you might say, so you're just going to ignore your weaknesses and let that hold you down? No, I think it can be noble to address the weaknesses, but I don't think the weaknesses should be a focus. So also, if you want to look at it from an efficiency standpoint, how much better are you really going to get by improving your weaknesses? You're weak in an area for a certain reason. So let's say you focus on your weakness and you go from terrible to bad. Is that really a better net improvement than focusing on a strength and going from good to great or excellent? I don't think so. Again, this is just my opinion. There's people who would argue, and I'm sure there's points on both sides. But I'm focusing on the ramifications of where the focus is at, above and beyond just the net improvement. So I think you should focus on your strengths so that you're not only getting better at what you're good at, which has all kinds of positive impacts in terms of making you feel good because you're getting better in something, and it's going to be easier to get better at something that you're already good at. But then also, where your mind is focused, the ramifications on focusing on the strengths is going to result in, again, feel-good dopamine, positive reinforcement, versus focusing on a weakness leads to a negative and potential stress physiology triggering of cortisol, catecholamines, and catabolism in the body. So when looking to get more out of yourself in any area of life, seek first to strengthen your strengths and go from there.